Hey there, Lord. She is being extra, aka over there. I cannot with you. Hey there, beautiful brown girls. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Brown Conversations. Welcome to the replay for those of you who are tuning into the replay, and welcome to the live for those of you who are here for the live. Hey there, Sab. How are you
Hey,
tonight?
I am great. I'm just messing around. I am great. I'm really good. How about yourself?
I'm doing phenomenal. I'm loving the hair. I was here
Ooh,
for it. You were being, AKA, and that's what y'all do. So go forth and
you
and,
know,
and
you
prep.
know, you know.
So super excited to be here tonight. We see you all coming on. As you are getting in, make sure you go ahead and start introducing yourselves in the comments. Let us
Introduce
know where
yourself.
you are watching from, and
Where
also
you
let us know if this is your
going?
very first time hanging out with us on Brown Conversations. We love to celebrate our first timers as well as our OGs. I already see you all coming in, so let's shout out a few folks here. So we have Yolanda is here streaming from Chicago. OG in the house. Irma is here. Hey,
Hey,
beautiful. We have Elle is here from Corona, California. Heather says she
hey,
sees you, Soror.
hey, Soror.
Monica is also here, first timer from Strongsville, Ohio.
Oh,
Welcome,
that's what's up.
welcome, welcome to the party. Yes, we also, hey, Sandra. So Sandra is also here. Ella, first time as well. Awesome.
Hey,
Anissa, first timer. We love, love, love when we have new folks hanging out with us. We have Linda hanging out with us. Jasmine is here. What is DTLA, Jasmine? I don't know.
downtown
What
LA.
maybe? I don't know. Let us know in the comments there. Nicole is here from Detroit. Welcome, welcome. We also have Karen is here from Milwaukee, first
Hey,
timer. And we
hometown.
have Sabrina is here from Seattle,
Hustle
first
Bang.
timer. For our first timers, we also have Sarah that is here from St. Louis. Nicole is here. She is representing the SG Rose in the house. Happy Centennial to you all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, it was downtown LA. So, welcome, Jasmine. So excited to have you. So, you all, we are so happy to be here, y'all. This is always the highlight of our week, and we have a lot to get into today. As you can see, we start the shenanigans as soon as the camera starts rolling, okay? Because that's how we do here at Brown Conversations. So I do want to make sure for all of our first timers that you get a proper introduction, right? This is your very first time hanging out with us, so you need to know what you're watching. So, welcome to Brown Conversations. This is our virtual platform where we talk about all things brown girl related. We are here to connect you to other like minded women and give you a platform to share your voice in the brown conversations that matter to us and those we care about. We invite you to connect with beautiful brown girls and connect with us individually as we take this journey through life. My name is Kimberland, and I am an educational advocate. I am a consultant. I'm an author. I'm a professional frolicker. Okay. And this week I have frolicked my way into the Windy City, y'all. I'm in Chicago. I don't know if you all can see the skyscrapers and such in the background here, but I am hanging out in Chicago. Came in for an expo with one of our brown girl bosses. Had an amazing time. So I'm wrapping up my time here in Chicago, and tonight I'm one of your hosts.
Shot Town.
Jacktown, baby.
And what Bernie Mac says. I am Sabrina Jackson, Sab Jackson. I'm also from Milwaukee, Karen. And I'm also a soror. Skiwi. But I can't get on. All right. Okay. So I am also one of your co-hosts. I reside in the wonderful city of Dallas, Texas. I'm on wonderful now. It used to be all right. It used to be in, but now it's wonderful city of Dallas, Texas. I am a healthcare marketing professional. I am a forever student. I'm actually learning how to be a VO right now, a voiceover right now. So that's a journey that I'm on right now.
Okay.
I'm just, I mean, it's only right. I'm also a podcaster. So I'm just like, they kind of go hand in hand. So I'm like teaching myself, learning how to be a VO. So like,
Love
yes.
that.
So I'm also daughter to Barbara, sister to Maria, sister to Juana, and sister to Sybil. And I welcome all of you ladies. I know I was doing the most when y'all came in, but we K's always do the most. So
The most is where it's at, okay? Like go big or go home. That's what we are here for, okay? And we encourage you all to have that same type of big energy and take up space. Sis. There is a this is definitely not what we're supposed to talk about today, but there is a artist called Toni Jones, and she has an affirmation album, and one of her songs is called Take Up Space, Sis. So that's what I'm on lately. Okay. So we are here to take up space, and we urge all of you all to make sure that you are taking up space as well. So really quickly, we have a few announcements to get into before we jump into our docket. First of all, we want to make sure that we let you all know that here at Beautiful Brown Girls, we are all about sisterhood, support, and self-care. We want to create authentic friendships, swap stories, experiences, and just really support each other locally and globally. So one of the reasons that we ask you all to drop where you are in the comments is because you just might meet your next best friend in the comments, okay? So it's really important for us to make sure we're connecting the entire time and really providing a safe space for us to flourish. Oh, and I see a few of y'all are familiar with Toni Jones and Take Up Spaces, okay? So having said that, as we are here, our goal is to make sure that we reach as many people as possible, right? We're doing some amazing things here at Beautiful Brown Girls, and we have a phenomenal time here on Brown Conversations every week. So we are going to ask you all to help us let people know how dope this space is, right? And you can do that in a few ways. You can do that by leaving an emoji, right? So you can give us some emoji reactions, or you can share the broadcast on your page. You can also pause right now and tag some of your friends, right? So I am certain that y'all know people that are out here in this world that needs to be on here with us. Okay, so go ahead and tag at least 3 friends in the comments. Tell them to come and hang out with us. We also have the ability to accept stars. So stars is a way for you to contribute financially. Stars only cost a penny. So if we are saying something that you really feeling deep down in your spirit, we want you to go ahead on and give us some stars, give us some emojis, and share the broadcast so that people are able to come and hang out with us as well.
Speaking of hanging out with us, if you would like the opportunity to come hang in the fun with myself and Kimberland, we would love the opportunity to have you come on and hang out with us. So we can pull you from the comments. You have the opportunity to hang out with us, see what myself and Kimberland do behind the scenes. We do a lot of fun stuff, and we've had people on the show before. They've had a wonderful time, and we would love the opportunity to bring you from the comments and have you participate in the fun with us. So how can you participate? You can participate simply by, if you're watching live, you can participate now simply in the comments by saying, I want to tell us in the comments that you want to come on the show. Like, I'm interested. Let us know that you're interested. But if you're watching the replay, you can actually email us at beautifulbrowngirls@gmail.com. We would love the opportunity to have you come on and participate in the Brown conversation and play games with us. And again, we would just love to have the opportunity to have you come on and just hang out with us and join the fun and get to know this fun and fabulous community from behind the scenes. So if you're interested, again, let us know right now in the comments and give us some stars. And also, if you're watching the replay, you can email us at beautifulbrowngirls@gmail.com. Did I cover that, Kimberland?
You did. And I see that Jeronica says she wants to be in the conversation. And so, Jeronica, we will be reaching out to you to make sure that you know how to do that. Again, if y'all feeling it in your spirit, y'all like, I want to be in the scene. I want to have my voice heard. I want to come out the comments and be on screen. Go ahead and let us know in the comments right now. Okay. Now, we have a really big announcement that we have to share.
Oh, we do. Okay. So can we let's prolong it just a little bit. Let's tease them just a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So I just got back from Cabo, maybe like not even a month ago, with the Beautiful Brown Girls Getaway. And we told you guys last episode where we were going for 2023. And we were like, you got to go to the community. If you aren't a member of the community, we can tell you right now where we're going, and you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Hold up.
It was the suspense. It was the suspense.
I'm like, okay.
Yes.
We are going to the French Caribbean. The Beautiful Brown Girls are going to the French Caribbean July 13th through the 16th. We have on our calendar to take on another Secrets Resort. We were at a Secrets Resort in Cabo. It's Secrets St. Martin Resort and Spa. It's an all-inclusive resort. And if you experienced Cabo, then you already can speak to how amazing the experience can be in St. Martin. You already kind of know what to expect in St. Martin. The Caribbean. And I need to stop talking Jamaican because it's not Jamaican. It's a French island. And they are nearing it being sold out for spots. They only now have single occupancy. And why is it almost sold out? Is because you have to be a member of Beautiful Brown Girls in order to reap the benefits of knowing first. We've known this, Kimberland, for about...
It's been a few weeks. It's been a few weeks. Yeah.
So, yes, they are going to St. Martin. Don't this looks
Honey, listen, let me tell you something. This looks absolutely magical. Okay. Just all of the things, honey. I'm talking chocolate goddess energy. Okay. Like here for this. All right. So y'all, we gonna tell you the truth. It's almost sold out. So you need to go ahead on, and we're gonna drop the link in the comments if you want to go ahead and reserve your spot, because they going quick, y'all. Okay. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get that link into the comments so that you all can sign up. But this looks absolutely magical. Ooh wee. My spirit is like, yes. Okay. So yeah, that is up. If you go ahead, we just dropped it into the comments there for you. Click on that, and that is how you can make sure you reserve your spot to be in that number to join us for our next Girlfriends Getaway for 2023. Now, in the event that it sells out, right, and you're unable to do it, there's good news that there is going to be a second getaway for 2023. Okay, and it'll be in the cooler months of the year. So don't fret if you have missed out this time, or if you're like, dang, I didn't even know, right? And you click it just a little bit too late. It is all right. But let me tell you something. The best way for you to know when stuff is happening ahead of time, honey, is to make sure you in that members network. Okay. So if you go to members.beautifulbrowngirls.com for only $25 for the entire year, you will be able to get first access to everything that we're doing, right? You get the VIP information, you get discounts, you get access to classes, you get access to have an even deeper connection with our beautiful brown girl family. All right. So again, if you go to members.beautifulbrowngirls.com, you will be able to get connected, and you will know first when things are happening, so that you could be like, I'm already booked when everybody else trying to get in there. All right. So again, that link is in the comments if you want to jump on the Girlfriends Getaway for 2023 to St. Martin. Now, we do have some updates, and you all know that as we are here reporting the news, right, and talking about these conversations, that we want to keep you updated when there is new information that is happening regarding some of the stories that we have already shared with you all. So we do have an update that we want to share about Brittany Griner. We have been talking about her story. If you don't know, she has been held in a Russian prison since February. And she was just recently had the trial where she was convicted of drug possession and smuggling and sentenced to 9 years in prison. Officials have found a vape cartridge that contained cannabis oil in her luggage, and that is what the charges are about and what the conviction was about. I don't know if this is good news, but an update-ish is that Russia has finally said that they're ready to talk about a prisoner swap after Brittany Griner's conviction. So that hopefully is moving in the right direction of allowing her to be able to come home. But Russia is Russia, and they don't necessarily play by the rules. So we're not quite sure what that looks like. But as of now, they have said that they are willing to discuss a prisoner swap, and they had already identified someone that they wanted the U.S. to give back to them. So we're kind of in limbo of waiting to see that happen. So we want to make sure that we continue to keep Brittany and her family lifted, her wife, and all of the people that truly are concerned with her well-being. We want to make sure that we continue to share the information about this story and continue to put pressure on whomever we can in order to be able to get her home, but recognizing that it is a process and this is not the U.S. legal system, right? So this is a completely foreign country and they do things in the way that they want. So as Sarah said, we are just really continuing to pray and just want to keep her name lifted as she is there and serving her time there in Russia.
Well said. Well said. I can't even imagine. I don't want to imagine. I will not imagine. And yes, like Kimberland said, let's keep her lifted up. Let's continue to put her in our prayers, like, because there's not much we can do in the U.S.
Right.
Like, we're outraged, we're upset, but just know that they are doing what they can on our side of the soil. But in speaking of that, I wanted to talk about, in the wake of her unfortunate events unfolding for Brittany Griner and just the unfortunate circumstances, keyword circumstances, that placed her into this unfortunate situation. And it makes me think about how, as travelers, some of the things that we don't think about and some of the things that we take for granted, literally. And I think we need to understand what our privileges are here in the U.S. and what they are not in other countries. So when traveling abroad, I want us to start to, it really just brings attention to how we really need to comport ourselves when we're traveling abroad. And I say that because we can't do, there's certain things that we can do in the U.S. that we can't do in other countries, i.e. meaning like it could be asinine here, but it can be illegal in other countries. So like everyday, normal, mundane things that we do here in the U.S. could actually be illegal in other countries or be a criminal offense depending on the country that you're in. And we wanted to talk about a few of the things that are legal in the US, but illegal around the globe. So for example, yes, 5 things, we'll name a few, 5 things that are legal in the US, but illegal around the globe. So in Singapore, chewing gum in Singapore is illegal. And the reason is because after vandals used chewing gum to mess with the mass transit's rapid transit system, it cost them like $150,000 a year to clean gum and litter. So after that, Singapore banned all gum substances in 1992. So anyone importing, selling, or making gum in Singapore can get fined and or go to jail.
For gum.
For gum, with the exception of nicotine and dental. Well, anyway, yes, for gum.
Wow.
Gum in Singapore. So keep that in mind. The next one is traveling with over-the-counter medicines without prescriptions in Japan, Greece, Costa Rica, and China, to name a few. Prescription drugs, or no, it says over-the-counter medicine. So I could have went to jail when I was in Costa Rica because I took some Tylenol with me to Costa Rica.
And I travel with my Aleve, I travel with my Benadryl, like I travel with medicine. I would have never even thought about it would need to be a prescription in order for me to have medication. Like I never would have thought about that at all.
Craziness. And did I
Yeah.
tell you guys also real quick that I traveled to Costa Rica with food in my suitcase? I'm laughing, but I'm laughing in jest. It's not funny, but I didn't realize that it wasn't a thing. And Kimberland was like, girl, I was like, it was an apple. It was an apple and
Yeah.
oranges. And they were like,
But it goes to show, Sab, just really stuff like this can happen to any of us, right? And we have a few more that we're going to share with you all. But this can happen to any of us because, again, we're used to living our life in the country that we live in.
mm-hmm.
And then you fool around and have your Benadryl in your purse. And now all of a sudden you might be in a situation where you have done something illegal and you didn't even know, right? So to Nicole's point, it is our responsibility to make sure that we know the laws, right? We have to make sure that we are checking what the laws are in the places that we're going to so that we don't wind up in a situation that could really get us in trouble. So we have a couple more that we want to share.
So yeah, vaping in Thailand. Is it? Yeah, Thailand. Vaping in Thailand is illegal. The next one is ordering an alcoholic drink or beverage during certain hours in Thailand. Who would have known? So like I can't order a drink. If I order a drink or want to order a drink at like 10 o'clock.
You got you gotta know. And you know what's so crazy? Being from New Orleans, this is one of the things for me that I really had to unlearn, right? Because in New Orleans, you drink 24/7. Like there are no off hours, off days. You can walk down the street with open containers. We have drive-through daiquiri shops. Like you drinking is very, very accessible. So I remember even when I went to college at Fisk in Nashville, and they didn't sell liquor on Sundays. And I was like,
same here in Texas.
What do you mean? And they were like, yeah, we don't do that. And I'm like, excuse them, why? Like, I had no idea, right? So again, it just goes to show you can, in your normalcy of what your everyday life is, you can wind up in a situation where you had no idea. You was just doing what you normally do, but you're no longer in the U.S. So this one shocked me.
It shocked you. Are you being facetious right now?
No, that it would be illegal? Like, how would they know?
Yeah, it's illegal to have premarital sex in Dubai. I mean, I figured that because it's such a conservative country. Like, I feel like just the perceptions of Dubai is like you have to cover up. You can't show any skin. It's I could see that in Dubai, but I still want to visit. And then a few others that aren't listed here, like it's illegal to feed pigeons in Venice, Italy. I thought this one was an interesting one. Men must wear Speedos on the French beaches, i.e., if you want to, if a woman wants to bring her husband to Saint Martin, you got to wear Speedos on the beach.
What? They can't wear swim trunks?
You have to wear Speedos on French beaches.
No way.
And then another one is it's illegal to wear camouflage in much of the Caribbean. So Kimberland, I believe you wear camouflage a lot. So
I do. I actually was debating tonight if I wanted to wear my camouflage jacket because it is like I have a uniform, that I wear, and camo is a part of my color palette. So I have my jacket and I have my pins on it and all that kind of stuff. But in one of my expat groups, people were talking about how camo is not allowed in some countries because it's reserved for the military. Right. So again, that's something I would have shown up to the airport in my camo jacket, minding my black ass business, and they would have been like, "And sis, are you coming? You are coming with us. This is illegal. You cannot do that." Right. So again, there are so many things that we may not be aware of. So we do need to do as much research as possible. Of course, we can't know everything, right? But we want to reduce the likelihood of winding up in a sticky situation that we don't have to be. So we wanted to ask ask you all, what other things have you all discovered that might be illegal in countries that may be legal in the U.S.? If you'll drop those in the comments, just in case we
Yes,
out here
we need to
traveling,
know.
so that we don't get caught up in a situation, right? Nicole mentioned also that public displays of affection.
Oh, yeah.
Homosexuality is also illegal in some
Yeah.
spaces and places, right? So again, like knowing that, like if I'm walking down the street and I want to give my partner a hug or a kiss,
Yeah.
I might not be able to do that, right? Legally, in those spaces. So yeah, keep them coming, y'all, because we want to make sure. Jasmine said short shorts. So yeah, so thinking about, she said Dubai is not as conservative as many may think it is. A lot of women with sleeveless shirts on and short shorts. But also I know that there are places when you're visiting temples, for instance, that you have to wear the cultural attire and they will make you change. Like if you showed up in a tank top or something like that, they will make you change. So as we're out here traveling, outside is open again and such, we want to make sure that we are honoring the customs and cultures of the places that we're in, honoring their laws, again, so that we don't wind up in sticky situations, y'all. All right?
All right.
All right.
All right. So new and upcoming new releases. So this new one that I'm actually looking forward to seeing, because it looks kind of funny. It just pokes fun at the church and the lifestyle of the church. This new movie called Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul, starring Regina Hall and Sterling K. Brown, and they are bringing the tabernacle foolery. So brief synopsis, the mockumentary starring Regina Hall as Trinity Childs and Sterling K. Brown is a satirical comedy. The proud First Lady and Southern Baptist at this Southern Baptist megachurch, who together with her husband, Pastor Lee Curtis, played by Sterling Brown, once served a congregation in the tens of thousands. So we're going to go ahead and show a trailer. I thought it was funny. Kimberland, did you see the trailer yet, or will this be your first time seeing the trailer?
No, I did watch it ahead of time. I love
Regina.
I just forgot Regina Hall. I was about to call her Regina King. I'm like, that is not Regina King. Regina Hall, like she is so hilarious to me. So I couldn't help but to take a preview peek at it because she makes my spirit happy. Like that chick, I don't know if y'all like have watched her, but she is funny as heck. So let's go ahead and get this queued up. This is the Honk for Jesus trailer that is going to be airing on Peacock.
I just want to clarify some things before we get started. Every woman is not built for the great responsibility of being a first lady.
Pastor Lee Curtis Childs faces allegations of misconduct. His megachurch may never be the same.
Lee Curtis and we're going to get to the other side.
You there? Yeah, with the big old microphone. Come in closer, son. You gonna see what all the fuss is about. Showtime.
What's up? Fresh is our turn, baby.
Lee Curtis is a talent, a star.
Oh, boy.
We can edit around that, right? This is gonna chronicle the ultimate comeback. I'm Rocky up in this fight.
Rocky didn't win.
But he did win in Rocky 2. Lord, baby, how many times I gotta tell you, get past the first movie? That was all set up.
He is just so wrong. He needs someone to harness it all.
Oh, bless your heart. I'm sure plenty of the old congregation will come right on back through good old Wanda the Greater Pat's daughter. You have a blessed one.
And you have a blessed...
I'm a sinner, but I'm no criminal.
We need you back in that pulpit so you can get me back on that stage.
You ain't really getting that many babes, baby. Shake it for the Lord. Shake it for the Lord. I said, shake it for the Lord. In the house. For the Lord.
All those folks out there who are going to see this, I want them to know that I did what I was supposed to do.
I just don't see how that's possible.
All things are possible with God. That's Matthew 19:26.
Yes, it is.
Are you? I am. That looks. Funny.
I am
really,
so
really
excited. I love Sterling K. Brown as well, and I'm excited to see him in a comedic role.
Yeah.
And so a part of being a person that goes to church is the shenanigans that happen. Like there are so many shenanigans that happen in the church setting that is absolutely crazy ridiculous. So yes, I should say he said, "Shake it for the Lord, hey, honk for Jesus." Okay, but yeah, I am super excited about that one. What about y'all? Y'all watching it or not?
Yeah. Pass or play.
How you feeling about honk for Jesus? Okay, let us know in the comments.
I would definitely play on this one. This is not a pass. I would definitely play. And usually I'm not like, I'm still dating churches. How long have I been dating churches here in Dallas? A long time. So I think this would help in my wanting to return to church because it's like they're not taking it so seriously. And I think sometimes the mega churches are so serious. And I just think this gives some levity to the whole mega church space. So yeah,
so much levity in the church space. So I think this is gonna be a fun one for sure.
I agree. All right. So the next one that we have anyone seen the P-Valley season finale? What's today? Monday.
Today's Monday.
Yesterday. Because I technically watched it.
It was yesterday?
Sunday morning at 12:01. So P-Valley, if you're not already watching P-Valley, I'm just going to give you some reasons why you should be watching it. You need stars. You need on demand. You need to get somebody's password. You need to be watching P-Valley. So the season finale of season 2 was on Sunday, yesterday. Hashtag P-Valley stars on Twitter. And it was a trending topic. It's a trending topic every Saturday night around like.
I've been seeing some think pieces about it.
Oh, the think pieces. So, and we're going to talk about some of these think pieces because you share some things that I didn't even know. And I am a fan. So I want to know, ladies in the community, have you watched P-Valley? And if so, what do you think? Did you watch the season finale? But that's not what I'm bringing up today. The reason what I'm bringing up today is so when the new episodes come, everybody's like flocking to Twitter, and then it becomes available on demand and it airs every Sunday. But the series has so many characters that I wanted to just talk about a few standout characters that I love and that a lot of people love. There's so many characters, but I just wanted to talk about a few here today and see if those characters potentially resonate with you. So let's start with Uncle Clifford. Nico Nanan is his first name. So he, was planning the reopening. And if you watch P-Valley, then you get that. So he is the owner of the Pank, spelled P-A-N-K. And so folks down in the fictitious city, or we call it fictitious city of Chucalissa. I like saying it like that, Chucalissa. Anyway, Uncle Clifford is an icon in Mississippi, and he is the baddest ish in the room. It's her outfits, it's her hair, it's her bags, it's the way she takes no nonsense from anyone. It's the way she cares for the girls who work for the Pank and tries to keep them all safe. And it's the way she loves so hard. It's the way her backstory is revealed, and it's always been allowed to live her true self. That's what I love about her character. And it's interesting because in the show, he was like, well, what are you? Because she presents as female, but not really. But she also presents as male. So it's like, he's like, well, what are you? She's like, well, what are you? So you have to watch it. I don't want to give it away too much, but her pronoun in the show is her. But Nico Anand is the person who plays Uncle Clifford. Is he I believe his pronoun is he, because he is a gay male. And then also I love Uncle Clifford. I really love Uncle Cliff. That's what they call him, Uncle Cliff. Also Little Murder, who is now Big Murder, and his name is J. Alphonse Nicholson, and he needs all the awards. He played in, if you guys remember, he played in Madam CJ.
Madam CJ Walker's Self-Made Millionaire.
Yes, he deserves all the things. So he plays Little Murder on P-Valley, a gangster rapper with a soft spot for Uncle Clifford. Murder spits hot fire on all the tracks, providing us with the bomb track every episode. But also what's great about Little Murder is he's a closeted what do you call that? Closeted gay. He's a closeted gay male.
On the show.
His character is a closeted gay male on the show. Thank you for clarifying that. But he does the LGBTQ community so much justice. He does it with so much care. He's really good at his role. Like, he is respectful of the space and respectful of that community and who he is as a person in the role. And it's just, I love Lil Murder. See, Lil Murder. Big Murder. Big Murder. Now his name is Big Murder. So I'm sitting here talking and yapping away, and I'm wanting to know if you in the community, any ladies in the community, have seen Uncle Cliff. She, her pronouns. This was mentioned in the second to last episode when Little Murder described him to his best friend and former lover. Okay. So I see a lot of.
We got some fans. We have some fans that are here with us. And what I wonder, so I did watch the first season of P-Valley and absolutely loved it, right?
You did?
I did. I loved it. I was really looking forward to the second season. And I started watching the first episode of the second season, and I was it was a lot. I don't know if I was going through a lot or what was happening, but I just couldn't focus, right? So I intend to go back and finish watching and binge it now that the season finale has happened. But I was telling you, I've come across a lot of think pieces about P-Valley. And one of those a lot of those think pieces, one of the topics that people continue to talk about is this relationship that you shared with Uncle Clifford and Lil Murder. And a lot of people are saying they don't like it. They don't like the display of affection between the two of them. They don't like how they're being portrayed and displayed. And I think it's really interesting. And because several of you all watch out there, we're wondering, do you feel like the storyline that's happening with Uncle Clifford and Lil Murder, is it powerful enough to come back for season 3? Like, does it feel like it's moving the needle and shifting the culture? I definitely can say that there is a double standard when it comes to homosexual relationships. I think that the world and society is very accepting of female homosexual relationships, but not as much male homosexual relationships, especially when it comes to displaying it on TV or things of that nature. So a lot of the think pieces, and I'm using that very loosely, a lot of the think pieces were really centering on the male homosexuality of Uncle Clifford and Lil Murder. So I wonder if you feel like it's strong enough to actually move the needle in shifting the culture to come back for a season 3, because I'm hoping that they won't cancel it, and it continues to be something that will be able to highlight this world, right? Because even Irma mentioned the pole dancers are super talented.
I want to pole.
I gained respect for strippers a long time ago. My friend was getting married, and we had a pole party for her, and I was like, Jesus on the man.
A pole party for her?
Yeah. Where you learn all the moves, and I was like, ooh, and this was back like 2010, 2011. Honey, let me tell you, I'm not cut out to be a stripper. I thought I was. But honey, they have a different type of strength that goes along. So yeah, what do you all think about the storyline? What do you all think about P-Valley as a whole? Should they keep bringing it back? Any thoughts, Sab, before I share some comments?
Yeah, so I think it's interesting that you said that, and I thought you were going to go in a whole different angle when you talked about is it more accepting and is it strong enough? And I think no, the double standard that you mentioned, and I thought that you were going to talk about black and white because there is a big double standard when it comes to
Now
white
that's
gay
true.
and
That's
black gay men.
true.
Because you have all of these white gay shows and them dressing women and they're
You're right.
drag shows, and you got the white flamboyant males, but then you have these black males who are actually
so right,
doing a wonderful job of portraying. They're human characters, relatable characters, but they're black men. And I think that's the issue with a lot of people. So, and to your point, to answering your question, yes, I do think it's pushing the needle. I do think it's strong enough. And I'm okay with them. I don't want to use the term that I was going to use. I'll tell you later, but I'm good. I'm glad that they're pushing the envelope, and I'm glad that they're like making people uncomfortable in this space, because black men, there are black gay men, there are black queer men, and they're human. They enjoy love and they like poetry. And they're not a monolith. And I think I love to see this. I want to be I'm Uncle Clifford. Uncle Clifford is my best friend in my head, and so is Lil Murder. They're my friends. They don't know it, but they do.
I love it. So let me grab some of these comments. Karen said, totally in love with this show. It's very well written, well performed. It gives us an honest and raw glimpse at stripper culture and a better understanding of the LGBTQ plus population.
Mm-hmm.
Aisha said a lot of that when we were talking about the double standard between male and female homosexual relationships. She said a lot of that comes from the fact that lesbians to women are fetishized in our culture. I absolutely agree with that, Aisha.
Yeah.
So Karen said, short answer, yes. Okay. Irma said, this is one of the best shows on TV. So my hope is definitely that they will continue to allow the storyline to develop, and that I do believe that P-Valley can do a lot for the culture. And you said a word of humanizing people that work in the industry, humanizing Black love, humanizing Black queer male love, like they're people, and they have a right to live life and experience life in a respectful manner, just like the rest of us. Absolutely. So shout out to the P-Valley crew again. The season finale came on yesterday, so if you like me and you need to go ahead on and binge that thing, go ahead on and make sure that you are ready to do that. It's ready for you, okay, to catch all of those episodes.
Crooked letter, crooked letter, crooked letter, crooked letter. Remember that time you were like, is that the only line you know?
Yes, because you kept saying it over and over and over again and over. So anyway, you all know that we always are wanting to let you know what is new and Black on Netflix. So this month, we have learned that we have some cult classics that are coming back. So Love and Basketball, Men in Black 1, 2, and 3, Space Jam, Above the Rim, and Flight are coming back, as well as Dope. I don't know if any of you all have seen that. So definitely be checking your Netflix this August for some of those shows there and some of those movies. But we have a new one that is going to be out, and it is called Day Shift, and it is starring Jamie Foxx as the lead there. And I'm going to show you who else is over there on the side. I don't know if you can recognize them right now, but this came out on August 12th. Jamie Foxx is a hardworking dad who's out to provide for his daughter, and he's using a boring pool cleaning job as a front for his real gig, which is hunting and killing vampires. So I'm gonna just pause right there, and I'm gonna say I don't do vampire movies. Like, that is just not my thing. That's like a line for me, right? So just knowing this much, I was a hard pass. I was like, yep, nah, I don't do the vampires. We good.
Even if they're funny vampires, even if they're fun,
I don't like the vampires. I don't know I don't know why. Maybe something happened to me. But I don't like the vampires. But then I saw my boy. I saw Uncle Snoop. And I said, if Uncle Snoop D-O-double-G finna be in the movie.
Snoop is killing vampires? Is he like?
I don't know.
Smoking a
I don't know
blunt with them
what
or
Snoop
something?
is doing. Does it matter? I just want Snoop to be Snoop.
Yes. Because that means it's funny. The fact that Snoop is in it means it's funny.
I know, but I don't know if Snoop is killing vampires. I don't know if Snoop cartwheeling down the street. I don't care what Snoop is doing. But because Snoop is in it, I will be watching it. Okay.
Oh, so it took Snoop. It took for a celebrity to be in your mind?
It took not any celebrity. Now it took to the Snoop D-O-double-G. Okay, that's Uncle Snoop. Oh, he gonna do you right. Uncle Snoop gonna do you right. You feel me? So, after I saw that Snoop was in it, I became an immediate play.
I tried to watch it last night.
And what happened? You didn't like it?
I tried to watch.
It wasn't good. It wasn't.
Well, I had to update the notes for the show, so I just, this takes priority.
Oh. I got kind of sad.
What?
We gonna have to see, y'all. We gonna have to see if it's worth it. Okay, so
what did our community say? Like
they saying they gonna play. Now a couple folk are like, yeah, no, they gonna pass on that. Okay, hold on. Bonita said I watched it. Snoop made just too brief for me.
I mean. They're both great actors, so I imagine the combination of those two would probably. But it sounds like he makes a few cameos, and he's not there.
I was sad. No, I'm sad.
Well, they reeled you in, and I'm sad that she said that.
They did reel me in. We having a fit over here in the comments. Fine, we'll move on. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
All right.
We got some top news topics.
All right. So some important top news. So some of these, always top news. Anytime we are bringing the top news to you, we feel like these are important for you to know. So the first one is Roe v. Wade was overturned. As you all know, we reported on it, was it last month or a couple months ago? But so what that essentially means, I don't need to beat a dead horse, but each state will now start to evolve. Each state now has discretion over whether or not they want to have abortion laws or how stringent they want their abortion laws to be. So I wanted to make it a point that each state will start to evolve around this. And what I say this is because it's up to the states now to determine their abortion laws. Now, Georgians in Texas, pregnant Georgians in Texas can now list their fetus as a dependent on their tax returns. So the Georgia Department of Revenue released new guidances recently establishing that they will recognize any unborn child with a detectable human heartbeat as eligible for the Georgia Individual Income Tax Dependent Exemption. So they want to force women to have the child. Now Georgia will have to offer benefits of having an unborn child. So under the new Georgia laws, fetuses now have full legal recognition as a living person. So that means their parents can claim them as dependents on their tax returns while in the womb. How do we feel about that?
I saw this coming. I didn't think, though, that Georgia would be the one, or Texas, which is very interesting to me. I thought that it would be a Democratic state to be like, now what, right, type of thing. But what I can say is this is the right thing to do. Because if you're going to make someone have a baby, then that means that you need to take care of it. So what I expect to happen after this is child support payments will start at confirmation of conception. I expect that people be able to take out life insurance policies at confirmation of conception. So if this is a person, then let's treat it like a person. You know what I mean? So this is the only right thing to do, in my opinion.
Crazy times.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So we'll see, how this continues to evolve. Like I said, I'm very, very surprised that it came out of Georgia and Texas. Like, that's surprising to me. This is something I would expect like California to do. But I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Mhm.
So yeah. Now
I don't have it. I mean, I say because I'm like I'm a woman of a particular age that doesn't see herself having kids, so I don't have any dog in this fight, but I do have a dog in the fight for women who want to or may not want to have kids, or and if they're forced to, at least they can get some type of benefit from this forced pregnancy. I hate the fact that I have to say forced pregnancy because that's
right.
essentially what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Millions of
Yeah.
women.
Well, yeah. So, another huge story that came across our desk this week is Serena Williams has decided that she is going to move on from
Go.
her world class Olympian life
Go.
as the best tennis player that ever did tennis. I don't care what nobody said. Okay. So Serena Williams announced her retirement. She says she doesn't like the word retire. So she is focusing on moving on in order to spend more time with her family, in order to focus on other things. So she did a spread in Vogue magazine where we just really got to appreciate her regality. You know, she really
Ooh,
has done a
regality.
lot.
I like that
You see me using these words, girl. But yeah, she has done so much for the culture, right? When you talk
so
about for the culture, for Black girls, when you think about Coco Gauff or Naomi Osaka, like they were able to see themselves in Serena
yes.
and to come up behind her, to really be able to see that as a thing. So she's been a trailblazer, a trendsetter, and just so beautiful and regal. So here we have one of the picture, and that's her daughter behind her holding her gown, Olympia. She's so cute. So yeah, this is a beautiful tribute to everything that she has been to tennis, everything that she has been for Black women. Serena's been an advocate for maternal health care and speaking up for Black women's medical issues and things of that nature, as well as mental health. And there are just so many things that she has done. And as Heather says, she's going to always be the best, period. Like, I don't care what they say. I don't care what receipts they try to pull, whatever. Let me tell you, she is it in my book, period, point blank.
Period.
Aisha said, go on, enjoy your life, and do what you want. Cheers, sis. It's time for her to be able to get out here and frolic and live her very best life. So, congratulations to Serena Williams on her new ventures that she has on the horizon. And we give her all of her flowers, her roses, her trophies, her things as we celebrate that with her.
I love how you mentioned she was an icon to the Cocos and the Naomis, and I didn't even think of that. I mean, I knew it, but I didn't think of that. She has opened the doors for so many little Black girls and opened their eyes.
Yeah.
Let me preface, open their eyes to the possibility of you too will be and can be the GOAT like a Serena Williams. So
yeah.
Absolutely. And evolve is the word that she continues to use because she has
Yeah.
a company. She wants to focus on being a mom. She wants to focus on being a wife. So she just wants to evolve and do other things outside of just tennis. I mean, I don't know how old Serena is, like mid-30s, late 30s.
She's close to our age. Yeah, she's pretty up there. It's time. She deserves it. She deserves it. As Lakita says, she has nothing else to prove. She did that thing with style and grace. So salutes.
I'm gonna do that Nene Leaks.
Yes, she deserves it. So speaking of moving on.
Speaking of moving on, radio personality Angela Yee announced that she is leaving the Breakfast Club to launch her own solo show. So Angela Yee announced that she actually tweeted that she will be exiting the popular syndicated radio show, The Breakfast Club, to host her own brand new show called Way Up with Yee. The Breakfast Club, as you know, it is officially over, is what she tweeted. That's what I was trying to get at. So she tweeted this on August 9th, followed by emoji hands in the shape of a heart. So Angela, I didn't think she would be the first person to potentially go. I always thought it was Charlemagne that would probably venture out on his own. I mean, he has his own things, but congratulations to Yee. Congratulations to Yee. I'm excited for her because I listen to The Breakfast Club. I know you don't listen to it as much.
I'm not an avid listener. I listen when it comes across my desk, but I don't go seek it out.
Yeah, she has her podcast called Lip Service that I used to listen to, but not as much anymore. But so both are going to be syndicated. So she's going to be launching in 30 plus markets with the radio show that's launching in the fall, date to be determined. And then she also has her podcast that will also be syndicated, which is called Lip Service, which is a sex heavy podcast if you're interested in it. So yeah, congratulations to her. I'm excited for her. I think it is time. I think they've been doing this for 12, 13 years now. And this has been in the works for a couple years for her. And she's always said that she wanted to go back to her own show because a lot of people don't know that she did have her own show on XM radio. So she did have her own show, but here it's just 3. They all got to share airtime. So, congratulations to her. So we just talked about Serena, and we're talking about Yee and figuring out, her making her evolution. We'll call it evolution.
It's not evolution.
So the question that we want to ask in this instance is, like, when do you know, or when do you feel that it's time for you to move on? Because Yee in her position, very comfy position, syndicated show, Serena at the top of her game. Like, when do you know, like, if when it's time to move on? When you're at the top, when you're doing well, or when you get comfortable? I don't know.
I think it's that last thing you said, actually. I think that every time it's been time for me to move on, there's been this sense of comfortability and accomplishment. Like, I did what I was supposed to do, and I'm comfortable now. I'm ready to coast. And then the way my life works out is then God be like, shake it up. Now you got to go do something else. So for me, that's when I know that it's time to move on. But what I can say is I'm trying to get better at moving on at that first indication, because a lot of times what I'll do is I'll ignore that and I'll try to stay, and then things get very difficult. And then I for sure be knowing that it's time to move on. So I'll say the original indicator is I feel accomplished. I've done a great job. I'm comfortable. Now it's time to go ahead and move on to something else. What about for you?
Yes, when you get comfortable. And what I appreciate about the company that I work for now, I'm not saying that I'm ready to move on, but the company that I work for right now, they move so fast. And just when I get comfortable, they just switch it up. And I'm just like, I'm getting uncomfortable, which is what I want. I want to be able to be uncomfortable in roles. I want to be able to challenge myself and push myself in different positions, different opportunities, different roles, different things. So I am uncomfortable often at my job, which I appreciate, because like they want it. They're challenging me. They're helping me in my growth. I'm responsible for my own growth, but they also want to see you grow as an individual at this company.
That's good.
When I'm uncomfortable, that's when I am comfortable, I know that when it's time for me to switch up. Sometimes I need that kick in the hiney to be like, move on.
Yeah, so we have some folks that agree with you. Karen said when things become too commonplace or comfortable and you don't feel yourself expanding. Saida said when the passion fades. Yeah. That's a good one right there. Nicole said, I know it's time to move on when you no longer feel enjoyment. Also, when your spirit tells you that it's time to go and grow. That's what I'm trying to get better at, Nicole. I need to know at that first instance, because I'm hard-headed. So I still be trying to do the things and it be time for me to go. Monica said, when you are no longer fulfilled or your goals are reached and you have a bigger vision. Aisha said, I think when you don't have the passion for what you're doing anymore, it's time to move on. And Saida said, I think it's okay to be comfortable as long as you're still passionate. We need to release the notion that comfort is a bad thing. I can receive that. Linda said, I'm tired and don't have the passion to do more. That's when she knows it's time to move on. I can say that too. When it becomes exhaustive, like when it no longer feels energizing, let me go ahead on and move on to the next thing. It is now time to roll on, you know, so I can totally relate to those for sure.
Wow. So congratulations to Yee and congratulations to Miss Serena Williams. So next we have on the docket, Business Publication Inc. is teaming up with serial entrepreneur Phyllis Newhouse and others to produce a new television show for women business owners. Kimberland. Business Publication Inc. is teaming up with Shoulder Up Wow, which is a production company to give women business owners the floor by way of a new TV show. It's going to be called Women of Wall Street, which is slated to air 2023 on CBS owned stations around the country, as well as streaming services like Paramount Plus and Pluto TV. Now, I know it's a while away, but we needed to share this awesome news about a Black woman providing other women the opportunity for women entrepreneurs to spread their wings and to launch their businesses. So think Shark Tank. That's what I think of what it's going to potentially be. So, yeah. I love this story. I love being introduced to this story because I had never heard of Miss Newhouse before. And I'm glad to have had the opportunity to share this story with you ladies or just share it, period, because I learned something new. But I can pass this on to the next woman or entrepreneur woman who is currently an entrepreneur. And whether or not they probably filmed this already. So this might still be her production company or production show, or Shoulder Up Wow production company may still have other opportunities for other women entrepreneurs to launch or launch their businesses, or to learn how to launch their businesses, or to elevate their businesses, for lack of a better word. So this is awesome.
That's dope. I'm here for that. I'm all about women's empowerment and entrepreneurship and all the things. Yes, sis, I receive it. So we have some amazing things that are coming out of California that are happening right now. And the first of which is today, Nipsey Hussle received his Walk of Fame star. Am I saying that right?
Yeah,
Walk of Fame. Yeah, Hollywood Walk of Fame. He is the 2,729th person to receive his Walk of Fame. Now, we know that we lost Nipsey Hussle a couple years ago, so he was honored posthumously. And I also heard that today they honored him with his own day. So he now has a day there in Los Angeles that honors him. And one of the things that Nipsey Hussle was really big about was buying the block and making sure that our communities continue to grow. So in his namesake, they are honoring him and making sure and making sure that his legacy continues by giving him his own day. The other amazing thing that came out of California this past week that we heard about is California is going to be the first state to implement universal meals for all students. So 5.8 million students are going to benefit from this legislation. It begins this school year. So if you have a kiddo in a school in California, or you know someone who does, there is now universal meals for all. This is a big deal, y'all. When we talk about food insecurity for so many children, they rely on the food at school. And some kids, like myself, we weren't poor enough to have food stamps. So, and we weren't poor enough to have free lunch, but we were too poor to afford food. So we had to get our food from the food bank because we were on that line. So there are a lot of kids that fall on that line where their parents make just over the amount of money, but it's still not enough for them to be able to live and feed their children. So this is a really big deal. So congratulations to California for this legislation and making sure that all kids have access to free and healthy and nutritious food for this upcoming school year and beyond.
All right. So HBCU dolls are going to be on sale at Target. And I love this story because these dolls were created by a Hampton University alumna. So she was a Hampton University graduate. She is going to be inspiring the next generation of HBCU pride through her HBCYOU founder, Brooke Hart-Jones, and she partnered with Target in this effort. She actually partnered with Target and a prominent Black-owned toy company called Purpose Toys to release the collection of 3 18-inch dolls with natural hair. This ain't natural, but natural hair. You guys get one. My hair. But with interchangeable outfits and hairstyles representing the different historically Black schools, with the line of HBCYOU dolls now available at Target. Isn't this awesome?
Target is really like making me like really hunker down as support because they've been showing up for Black businesses. Like they really have. So I think this is the cutest idea. I love this. I'm all about dolls. I walked down the toy aisle recently because I just wanted to see what types of dolls were out these days. So it's really cool to see dolls that are going to inspire girls and direct them towards HBCUs.
Wow.
Come on. Oh, cool. Saida said Target was a sponsor of Bet on Black TV show on Revolt TV. So she was sharing earlier that was like a Black Shark Tank. That was really good. So y'all, Target, if y'all ain't shopping there, I'm gonna go ahead on and say, let's go on and shift our money over there from the Walmarts. Okay. All right. So really quickly, I want to share some news about what's been happening in Florida that you may not know is coming your way to impact you soon. So to the left, we have Governor Ron DeSantis, who is the governor of Florida. And to the right, we have attorney Andrew Warren, who is the state attorney of Hillsborough County, Florida. Well, almost a couple weeks ago, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis decided that he was going to suspend Hillsborough County, which is the Tampa Bay area, the elected prosecutor, Andrew Warren, for pledging not to use his office to go after people who seek and provide abortions or on doctors that provide gender-affirming care to transgender people. Now, I don't know if you all have been paying attention to some of the legislation that has been happening in Florida, but there is some very serious and scary legislation that's been happening that relates to teachers and teachers' ability to be able to bring their whole selves to work and share about their families because their families are not traditional families. Teachers are being told that they're indoctrinating kids if they talk about their life, if they talk about anything that has to do with Black history or Black people. There was actually a teacher this past week that resigned because he was told that he couldn't have a poster of President Obama, Colin Powell, and Harriet Tubman in his classroom. They took it down. So he resigned, right? So there are a lot of things that are happening. So Ron DeSantis's latest overreach is he sat down or suspended the state attorney, Andrew Warren. So the reason that he did that is because Andrew Warren said that he is not just going to unilaterally make decisions. He needs to use his discretion, which is what we would want any state attorney to do, I would think, right? So they're in a battle, in a tiff right now regarding that. But why does this matter to you? Because you might not live in Florida, right? Well, Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump used to be really good buddies, right? They are very much aligning in their way of thinking, in their way of behaving. It's like they're in a battle for who can be the most outrageous.
Wow.
Well, recently they had a little falling out that happened because Ron DeSantis is actually running, has plans to run for president for 2024, right? And as we know, Donald Trump also would like to be able to rerun for president in 2024. Okay, so now they have fallen out. All right. So as you all probably know, it was some stuff that went down this past week, right? And Ron DeSantis did not come to Donald Trump's aid about the situation. So additional chaos that is happening there. So Donald Trump's home, Mar-a-Lago, that is in South Florida, was raided this past week. And when I first saw it, I must admit, I was like, interesting. But then I really started thinking about the implications of this situation. Hold on, of the implications of this situation, because this is the first time in U.S. history that there has been a no-knock warrant served at a former president's home. Right. So Merrick Garland, who is the Attorney General, personally approved this no-knock warrant in order to retrieve confidential documents that were found at Mar-a-Lago. Now, as you know, Donald Trump is no longer the president of the United States. He should not be in possession of these classified documents. Well, the FBI agents searched his home and removed 11 sets of classified documents, including some that are marked as top secret, according to the search warrant that was released on Friday. So why does all of this matter? Well, again, because what I fully believe is once this happens, so I don't know if you all have now seen the defund the FBI calls that are coming now from the right. And they are now wanting to defund the FBI because of this situation that happened. So they went from this back the Blue Lives Matter situation to now defund the FBI. Well, this has really fueled the Republican Party, right? They are really on fire right now. And one of the things that's happening right now is primary season. So if you all have been paying attention to the primaries that have been going on, there are a lot of Republicans that have been getting into seats. And now there are going to be even more. Why does this matter? Because your local elections are the elections that affect your everyday life. So it is very important that we who do not align with these types of thinking go out and vote so that we can prevent these types of people from getting into office. A lot of those seats are decided in those primary elections. And what we know about Republicans is that they go and vote in the primaries. What we know about Democrats is that we usually don't show up. So now is the time that we really need to make sure we're being intentional about going to vote and that we're paying attention to these implications of what's happening. Because again, whether we have Trump or Ron DeSantis as the Republican candidate, they're going to have a very, very strong backing. And I'll tell you now that DeSantis is probably about 10 times worse than Trump. So I said all that to say, go ahead with what you was going to say, and I'm going to grab some of these comments.
Oh, real quick, I was going to say that when you talked about Trump and what happened and the FBI raid, I'm just like, I didn't even think anything of it because I'm like, well, what else is new? Because, and while you did bring home that this is important, this never happened in the history of presidency, and I understand the historical context of it, but it's like, let me use his word. He's a deplorable man. He's a disgusting man. Like that's what I expect. So when I saw it, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't, because we're so used to seeing him do F-ish, right? So I don't care. I don't. And until this affects me, and I know that might sound selfish, but I don't give a ish about what happens to Trump or anyone in his party. I just don't. So, and it didn't surprise me because he's done worse-ish before. And I know that you said DeSantis might be worse.
No, not might. He is.
He is worse. I know he's stupid. That's all I know about DeSantis.
He's not stupid, though. He's not stupid at all. He's actually very calculated. And that's what makes him worse than Trump. Trump is stupid. DeSantis is not stupid. He is very calculated in everything that he does. And I definitely hear you saying that you don't care until it affects you. And that's why I try to make all of this come around full circle of why it does matter, right? And why, because what they count on is for us not to care. They
I
count on
vote.
us
I
tapping
vote.
out. No, I know that you vote, but what I'm saying is this is why you have to care, because there are further reaching implications, right? So it may look like, oh, stuff is going down in Florida. That's so stupid. But what you're not also seeing are the primaries that are happening, that all of these people that align with this type of thinking are also getting into office. So we really have to make sure that we tap in. And I'm not saying to be a news junkie or anything like that, but we really have to make sure that we tap in and pay attention to what's happening, because this is when they sneak stuff under the rug, because we quote unquote don't care, right? So it's like we have to be really, really intentional and pay attention. And there are a lot of people here in the comments that are like, yeah, the nation should be very concerned about DeSantis. He is terrifying. He is terrifying. The types of things that are happening in Florida right now are
I see it. I pay
crazy.
attention. I keep my ear to the streets. I do pay attention, and maybe I should rephrase and not say that I don't care, because there's nothing that I can do outside of voting locally. I vote locally. I help amplify what I can on those Black women win calls. Like, I help amplify with what I can. I use my voice and I use my platform to help amplify the need. But sometimes I'm just like, it gets so exhausting, and it's just to the point where I'm just like, I can't invest so much shock into what President Trump does and what DeSantis does until I'm paying attention. And I implore anyone else who's watching this to pay attention and keep your ear to what's going on. But I just don't emotionally invest into the shock and the awe of what they're doing, because emotionally I can't handle it. Because when you told me about DeSantis, my heart dropped, and I'm like, I don't want to hear about it until I have to know about it. But I do know, we do know what's going on. Like, I don't want you or anyone else watching this to think that I am this dismissive person and who's not paying attention and who only votes during the presidential elections. That's not the case at all. I'm guarding my peace and protecting my peace when it comes to these.
I understand that. I understand guarding your peace. I do the same, right? But I definitely want us to make sure that we are paying attention, right? Because that's what they want, is when we don't pay attention. Now we got a situation, you know what I mean? But there's been some really good things that have been happening in regards to justice lately. And I'm cautiously optimistic about some of this stuff, but definitely appreciative of what is happening. Go ahead and tell them about this.
Sure. So 4 current, now former Louisville police officers were federally charged in Breonna Taylor's death. And so the Louisville Metro Police Department officers involved in the deadly raid of Breonna Taylor's home were arrested and charged with civil rights offenses, unlawful conspiracies, unconstitutional use of force, and obstruction offenses, says the United States Attorney General Merrick Garland. He said during a press conference recently. So former, do I need to mention the names? Kelly Goodlett, Brett Hankinson, Joshua James, and Kyle Meany were charged with submitting a false affidavit to search for Taylor's home ahead of the Louisville Metropolitan Police Department's raid, and then working together calculatedly, and now that's not a word, to cover up their crimes and to create this false story in an attempt to escape responsibility for their roles in preparing the warrant, the affidavit, and contained false information according to court documents. So essentially they met in a garage, they colluded together to concoct this false story of what happened to make sure that all of their stories were aligned, and they ended up getting caught, which is a good thing, right? So for now, because they were charged, but
that's the first step, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's the first step.
And they were charged by the U.S. Attorney General, right? So we know that they were actually acquitted in Kentucky, but or not even charged. Only one of them was even charged in Kentucky. But U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland is the one who is charging them with federal crimes. So this is a little bit more serious than locally.
the fact that their own state's attorney general, a black man,
Yeah,
I don't even know his name. I don't even know his name.
Daniel Cameron.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we are continuing to say Breonna's name and honor her legacy. She was not here with us long, but her life has made an impact. So definitely want to honor that step towards justice for her family. I know that they are absolutely relieved, as well as her boyfriend who was there in that trauma with her. So that is a piece of good news. Then we also have some good news that came out regarding the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. So his murderers were already convicted of and sentenced to life sentences, as well as some decades in prison. And we have just gotten word over the past week that there has been additional justice for Ahmaud. So his murderers were sentenced to another life sentence, as well as another 35 years. But that's not the best part. The best part is what they were trying to go to court for. They were asking if they could serve their time federally, because a federal sentence is a lot easier as far as the facilities to serve than in Georgia. But the judge declined it, and guess where they're going to be? Right there in Georgia. So we've heard that things that they've said they're afraid that they might not make it and all of that. I find it very difficult to be sympathetic because you murdered someone in cold blood. So kind of let the chips fall where they may, but they will be serving their sentence in Georgia State Prison, which historically is one of the rougher prisons that are in the U.S. And I'm happy with that.
Let's cue Casey and JoJo's live song.
Live. Yeah. So as Aisha said, no Club Med for them. Okay. This is not where you go and put in your request.
Right.
You know what I mean? Enjoy your stay in Georgia. That's where you decided to murder someone who was minding his black ass business. Okay, so boom.
The lips.
That's all I gotta say about that. But those are two really great things that that we want to amplify and highlight, because
scratching myself and itching myself right now with the same story right now. So the Biden administration recently declared that monkeypox outbreak is a public health emergency. Now they declared it a public health emergency. So the US, they recently ordered bulk stocks of the monkeypox vaccine, which the government owns and stores in Denmark. So they already have the vaccine. As we know, the monkeypox isn't a new virus. It's an old virus that just kind of lied dormant for how many ever years. So since the first U.S. monkeypox case was identified in mid-May, more than 6,600 probable confirmed cases have been detected in the United States. Cases have been identified in every state except Montana and Wyoming. And I just wanted to share, every state. And I know a lot of us, and myself included, are seeing a lot of these Instagram pictures of people and their outbreaks and their, they're sharing their experiences. And this is freaking me out to the point where I'm just like, I work from home and I'm still itching. Right. So I just wanted to share, and I wanted to share with you my research, and I did do my due diligence to make sure that I'm giving you the right information in terms of just transmission, because my anxiety with the transmission is off the charts. So it requires much more prolonged skin-to-skin contact, not just casually touching someone. So if you met someone and saw someone that had the monkeypox outbreaks and you shook their hand, even though I wouldn't, if you shook their hand, that doesn't mean that you would necessarily contract it. Prolonged touch, so if you sleep with them, if you're having relations with them, or if you're hugging them, or if you're sleeping in the sheets with them, or using their sheets with someone who had monkeypox, that's what it means by prolonged skin to skin contact and not just casually touching someone with a sore. And what we know, most of the cases have been reported amongst men having sex with men. And I want to emphasize that it is not a gay man or gay woman's disease. So I don't want to have that stigma out there, but these are just what's being reported. So it's not true that it's not a
it's not a gay male disease.
Virus. And it can be transmitted to anyone. And again, I just don't want to stigmatize the spread and not to discriminate. But again, sharing sheets, sharing towels with someone infected by the virus are ways that you can potentially contract. Also, just know this is still fluid. Like, it is an old disease, but it's still fluid now. Fluid to me because it was before my lifetime and before your lifetime. So this is why it's new to us and new to me. So, but Kimberland, you're going to host a town hall on this. Can you talk a little about that?
So we know that there are lots of questions, there are lots of narratives that are being created, and there's lots of things that we just don't know because we're not medical professionals, right? We're not seeing it firsthand. We don't know. So we are going to have a special town hall next week on the 24th, and we're going to bring in Dr. Alexia. She is a physician, infectious disease physician, and she's going to come and talk to us about monkeypox as well as COVID, because COVID is still a thing. I don't know if y'all knew that, but it is. So we want you to make sure that you tune in, that you bring your questions, because you'll have opportunity to get your questions answered, because we really want to make sure that we are talking to professionals as we're sharing information, so that we can bring you the right now truth of what is happening in the moment according to those who are on the front lines. So that will be next week on the 24th. And we want you to think about this question that we have up. So knowing that there are reemergence of some diseases, and we heard about polio was found in water the other day in New York, like there's a lot that's going on with reemergence of diseases and new diseases. How are you moving differently? Right? Have you gotten lax? Have you, stopped wearing your mask? Have you stopped washing your hands as frequently? Like, are you touching your face more? Do a check and make sure that you are not putting yourself back in the comfortable space of everything is fine. Right? Because there are still diseases out here. There are still germs out here. So we don't want to get lax in any way. So we want to make sure that we're continuing to ask ourselves about our practices and making sure that we are doing things that are going to keep us as safe as possible.
Speaking of COVID, can you talk briefly about how the CDC loosened recommendations?
So yeah, the new update with COVID is that social distancing is no longer a thing. That we don't have to stay 6 feet apart, like we don't have to do any of the social distancing measures that were in place. So again, like, be thinking about that, right? Like Linda said, she still has her protective routines. We want to make sure, just because everybody else all jumbled up together don't mean we got to be jumbled up with them. You know what I mean? Like, I always turn around and be like, excuse me, like, you don't need to back up, because like, freeze, right? But that is in the US. I can say in Mexico, where I just left, that social distancing is still a thing. They're still wearing masks, like it's still a thing. So just make sure that you're making good choices for you, so that you are able to stay safe and that your family is able to stay safe as well. All right. So we're going to go ahead and jump into our mental health moment for today, because we want to make sure that as we're talking about all of this stuff, right? Sam's still over there scratching.
I know.
But as we're talking about all of this stuff, that we are considering our mental state through everything. So, Sab, you want to kind of share what you were thinking prior to us sharing the information?
Yeah, of course. So we can never get too much of self-care. And I know we talk about this a lot. And while other people feel like self-care is a luxury, I wanted to talk about some self-care activities that might be key, especially during times of just constant chaos and the different pandemics and the different diseases and the viruses. And it's just like, when we're having trouble just making sense of things that are happening around us. And I wanted to share with you all some tips that I have found mentally helpful for me in my day-to-day life and experiences that I feel could be beneficial to you. And some of them are just simple things that I just don't even think about. I think we're such in a space of self-care that we just do it automatically because it's been instilled in us to do these things. But most of these things we just actually do without thinking. But because we know we have to be really intentional about taking care of ourselves. So I want to share some of those tips with you. But before I do that, Kimberland.
Yeah, so I want us to be really focused and intentional with this information that Sab is about to share with us. So I wanted to bring up the 8 areas of wellness. So these 8 areas of wellness are the 8 pieces, if you will, of our lives that contribute to our wellness and our mental health, right? So what I would like for you to do is look over these 8, and I'm going to ask you to drop which one that you want to focus on into the comments. Okay. So which area of wellness?
Just one or a couple?
If you have a couple, you can do a couple.
Okay, I won't do this one. I'll do one. I'll just do one. But you can focus on a couple after this. But
you
just
can
know,
totally
take a
focus
screenshot.
On a yes, but choose at least one, right? So when we're thinking about psychological, that's our mind. Emotional, our emotions. Physical, our actual bodies. Spirituals is our spiritual self. So our relationship with the higher power. Our relational, so how do we relate to other people? Not just our romantic relationships, but just relational, period. Environmental, so what are the things that are around us, surrounding us? Our financial wellness, and then our professional wellness. Okay, so if you will drop the area that you want to focus on into the comments. Okay,
Right.
So Sab, did you choose yours?
I did had a couple, but I'm just gonna do the one.
Okay,
I'm going to do relational.
All right, perfect. So I am going to do environmental. I'm gonna do environmental. Okay. 8 out of 8.
8 out of 8.
All right. So you have centered your spirit on 1 or 8 of these areas of wellness, okay, that you are going to focus on. All right. So as Sab is sharing with you these self-care activities, I want you to think about how a particular activity could assist you in that area of wellness that you want to focus on.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
You ready, Sab?
Yes, I'm ready. But as you do this, make sure that it's center screen as I talk through.
Okay.
I'm not going to talk through all of them, but I want the community to see the full list and maybe take a screenshot so that you're able to keep this on your phone and then reference it. So there are 14 self-care activities that I want that you can practice right now. And I just thought all of these are really interesting. So being present in the moment. I did that this weekend. I forgot to take pictures. You want to know why? Because I really wanted to just be present and experience that moment and be relational with the people that were surrounding me and I was at dinner with in that moment. My memory, my picture was that mental memory. Staying connected to your breath, practice meditation, learning how to, if you're running, making sure that you're doing the correct breathing, listening to your body. Let me see. Oh, reflecting on what brings you joy. Oh my goodness. If you think about what brings you joy, what is that called, Kimberland? Melatonin? No, not melatonin. Serotonin. Serotonin that brings you joy. Go for a walk. I'm a big hiker. I'm a big trail hiker. I did that this weekend. That will help you clear your mind. I go with a girlfriend, relational. I'm going on hikes with friends, relational. This is our opportunity to bond and get to know each other, or even just with yourself so that you can get one with nature, like Kimberland. I know you talked about nature. staying hydrated. That goes without saying. Engaging in regular exercises, getting your sleep, spending time with your pet. I don't have a pet, but I will and do go to dog parks. And go to dog parks to like meet other dogs. And you know what I'll actually end up doing one time? I'll just take a fake leash with me. Remember what dude from Boomerang did?
A leash?
A fake
Like you
leash.
had a dog?
Like I had a dog and saying maybe Kirby's missing or something like that. Be like, I'm just joking, guys. But no, go to a dog park. Kimberland, you mentioned either jogging past a dog park. Just
Yeah, they have a lot of dog parks in Mexico, and it brings me so much joy.
I mentioned earlier, making daily meditation a habit. I meditate every day, or just take a few moments to meditate from my what is that app on my phone? The orange
Headspace, Calm.
Headspace.
Mhm.
I like Headspace better than I do Calm. Journaling your thoughts. I do that quite often in my phone, though. I don't write, but I need to start writing. And then just taking a soothing bath. Ooh, one of my favorite places to shop is Lush, and I go get their bath bombs all the time and just take a moment to take in the bath bombs that they sell. I love
that.
Lush. But
so,
go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say there were quite a few people that put financial into the comments. So I wanted to just kind of bring some of these alive for you. So for instance, when you one of the things that you can do, for instance, is listen to your body. When you are feeling the urge to spend, right? Or maybe you are stressed about money or whatever the financial issue is, take a moment to listen to your body to try to determine what else might be happening in that time. A lot of time our financial woes are due to stress or due to being tired or feeling like we need to do something to reward ourselves. So that might be a way that you can use this self-care activity. Another might be journaling your thoughts, right? So when you think about money, what are the thoughts that come up for you? This week, I was spending time with Candace Green, Queen Candace, who is a former Brown Girl boss, but she's also a financial psychologist. And one of the things that she does is have people think about their money traumas that have put them in situations financially that may not be the best for them. So again, journaling is a way for you to really think about, when I think about money, does that bring me joy or does it stress me out? How does that make me feel? What are the thoughts that come up? What are the things that I'm saying to myself constantly about money? Like, I don't know if y'all hear people say about their kids, they'll be like, this is my broke best friend. Words have power. We don't want to call our kids broke because we're pronouncing that over their lives, right? So really thinking about how we're being intentional with our finances. That's just a way that you can use these self-care activities that Sab has shared in order to reach another area that may not seem like it's accessible.
I love these, and I know they may seem simple, but these are simple things, simple tips that really can have a great impact on your life. I remember I was one of those people in the beginning that just thought meditation, taking a walk, taking my breath, it truly has had an impact on how I move and how I feel in my daily life. When you practice those habits and doing them every day, you have to make them habits, and you have to really be intentional about your mental wellness. And I will be the first to tell you that I was one of those naysayers in the beginning that I was proven wrong. Gladly, I was proven wrong to know that these practices can actually work in your life.
I love it. I love it. So as we wrap up here this evening, y'all, we want to give some kudos to our beautiful Brown Girl Spotlight for the week. And this is one of my sorority sisters. Okay. So definitely want to give her congratulations.
Oh, I like that pose. I'm going to practice that pose.
Honey, that's a power pose right there. Okay. You see them frames. Okay.
Yes.
So this is Dr. Sasha Joy Moon. She is the new director of the House of Representatives Office of Diversity and Inclusion. And as I mentioned, she is a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. So So the Office of Diversity and Inclusion is an independent and nonpartisan office that's tasked with improving the recruitment, retention, and development of a diverse House workforce, right? So within the House of Representatives, this office ensures that the people who work in the House, not just the representatives, but like the actual workers, that they are diverse and that they're increasing the awareness of diversity issues. This office was established in 2019. And Dr. Moon was appointed to this office by the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. She's coming to this position from working as the Chief Diversity Officer and Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusivity at the National Institute of Standards and Technology. She holds a PhD in Public Administration and Policy from Old Dominion University, and she attended Virginia Commonwealth University for her bachelor's, and she joined Delta Sigma Theta in spring of 2003. So we want to honor Dr. Moon as she steps into this powerful role. We want to pray for her because this is a role that can be very, very tedious. But we definitely want to give her congratulations as this week's Beautiful Brown Girl Spotlights. Yes. So having said all that, y'all, we know we had a lot of people that were joining us for the first time, and we always want to make sure that you know where we are and how to connect with us while you are out here on these interwebs. So we want to make sure that you have liked us on our Facebook page at Beautiful Brown Girls, joined our Facebook group Beautifully Shaded, followed us on Instagram at Beautifully Shaded, and on Twitter at Beautiful Brown U. We also want to remind you that if you want to be the first to know about all the amazing things that we are doing here at Beautiful Brown Girls, like where we gonna be going in 2023 in the fall, right? You need to make sure that you go to members.beautifulbrowngirls.com. That is where you will be able to get that VIP access to our member space. It's free from social media. It's actually our own personal space, free from the algorithms and all the things trying to hold a brown girl down. It is the space for us to be our beautiful brown selves. So if you go to members, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, no, if you go to members, because we have a question in the community that I think you should answer.
Okay, if we go to members.beautifulbrowngirls.com, you will be able to get connected to us there. Okay.
Right. So Anissa wants to know, is this every Monday at 8 p.m., Kimberland?
That is a great question. We are here every other Monday at 8 p.m. So we will be back. I don't have my calendar.
8 p.m. Eastern Standard, 8 p.m.
The 29th is going to be our next show, August 29th, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And right here on our Facebook page as well as on YouTube. So thank you, Anissa, for that question. All right. So Sab, tell the people where they can find you, boo.
You can find me at sabjackson.com. All of my social platforms are there. I'm re-upping my podcast. It's been a year since I recorded, and I was intentional about not recording for a year, but I am re-upping for September. I want to re-record in September. But the point that I'm making is that you can reach me at sabjackson.com. I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn and or on Facebook here. The places where I am most active is on Snapchat, and I feel like that is my journal. So if you are on Snapchat, you can find me at Sab_Jackson, Sab_1908. And everything, like I said, is on sabjackson.com. So if you want to connect with me there, we'll love to connect with you and continue to build with you there. Kimberly.
Awesome. And you all can find me at KimberlandJackson.com. But I want you all to actually go to my new space, which is Minding My Black Ass Business. Over on Instagram. That is where I'm logging all of my shenanigans, all the things that I do as I'm out here being a professional frolicker. I do want to let you all know that I do have one more life coaching class that is coming up. At the end of the month, and this is going to be the last time that I'm going to do a life coaching class in person, or like where you get to see me. After this is going to be a video because I got so many things going on. So everywhere. Yeah, if you are needing someone to help you discover your destiny and to really tap into your gifts so that you can make an impact on this world, if you go to KimberlandJackson.com, you will be able to get that information there. And yeah, if you go to Minding My Black Ass Business, you can see all the crazy things that I'm doing out here while I'm frolicking around. All right. So having said all of that, y'all, we so appreciate you hanging out with us every other Monday. And we will be back on the 29th, okay, to see what else we can get into and talk about.
Don't prolong skin to skin. Just be safe.
Be safe, y'all. Be safe, okay? Be safe. Wash your hands, okay? Because we want to see y'all back here in one piece, all right? I'm about to go eat, honey, and enjoy the beautiful city of Chi-Town. Y'all send me some recommendations about what I need to do, and we'll be back in 2 weeks, y'all. Bye.